a second.
Mm-hmm.
Put that there. All right, we'll be live in 1 second. Streaming. Okay. All right. People coming in a little bit.
There we go.
There we go. All right, cool. All right, good times, guys. All right. Let's do this. Oh, we got Twitch coming in. We got people from Twitch chat, from Trevo, D Live. All right, let's do this. Where's the camera? This one? Okay. Hey, everyone. Here we go from right now. So, everyone, it's great to see you this evening. If you've been watching the other streams all day throughout all these platforms, again, thank you so much for hanging in. This has been a special day. Welcome. And for ones that are new to this program, my name is Doc Williams. This is Build With Me, where we build 3 different businesses with one tech tool every single show. And tonight, we have special guest stars in the building. We have the Cork Bros. Guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yo, thank you for having us, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank Andrew. You notice we got guest stars, not just guests.
I know, man. That's
buttoning us up.
Yeah, we got to step up our game already, man.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm loving it. I heard the energy. Sabrina messaged me and she's like, "You got to have these guys on your show." I was like, "Okay, all right." Listen, she's like, "No, just book them. I just do it." I was like, "Okay, I don't know about this, but this is going to be excellent." Again, we just talked very briefly. I don't know everything about you guys. So first of all, I need to know who the Cork Bros are. What is this about? Tell me a little bit about yourselves, please.
Absolutely. Mike, take it away, man.
I got you, man. I got you. So we are digital marketers. So we focus on the content creation aspect, but also social media marketing, social media managing standpoint. And we do that for a lot of businesses. So what it looks like is we go in, we take fire photos, crazy visuals for videos, do all the different things you need for your digital presence and also get your brand out there. And then we come in and we make sure it gets distributed the right way on social media. So you're not just getting great visuals and then not knowing what to do with them or letting them just sit in the album. We're making sure they actually get to the people you want them to get to.
That's what I love to hear. By the way, just in between, we've got Lucius coming into the chat. Lucius, great to see you. He's talking about that he's a photographer as well, trying to build out his business. So he's very interested in this topic.
That's what's up, man.
I love it. Love it.
Yo, welcome to the live stream, man. Yo, I love this live stream format, Mike.
Oh, yeah, no, this is
coming
exciting.
out. Oh, man, he said 45, 55 minutes. We're going to be out here till midnight, y'all.
All night, guys. All night.
Baby. Oh, man.
This guys, you got to run with the show. I'm going to take a nap. This is good. This is good. No, everyone's saying in the chat, they're loving it. Love your energy. This is good. This is good. We're just still on the intro, guys. Like we haven't gotten.
Yo, this is just the intro.
We haven't even gotten to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, we just gave you all the teas so far, man.
Oh man.
Yo, great. So we aren't actually brothers. A lot of people, we're both very good looking, but we look nothing alike. But we actually both have Cork in our last name, and that's where we got Cork Bros. So I'm Andrew McCorkle.
And I am Mike Corkrum. So once we noticed that, we had to run with the Cork Bros name.
That's crazy. Wait. So tell me about it. Did you know each other from school? How did it? Were you sitting next to each other because of similar last name? You're like, wait a minute, Cork. What happened with it?
No, we actually both moved to Georgia right around August of 2016, so about 4 years ago. And we actually, just from happenstance, whatever you want to call it, I was working at Lifetime Fitness in the cafe, and Mike was a member there. And we joined into a basketball league together. And then Mike was like, holy shit, this guy can play basketball, man. I need him to carry me on the court. I was like, yo, man, just hop on my back and I got you. And so that's how we met.
Great. First of all, I love that story so much. I also used to work at a Lifetime Fitness.
Nice.
Massage therapist back
That's
in the day.
awesome.
So I love seeing anyone from Lifetime. I still got my membership right there. I'm trying to get in the door, trying not to pay for those high prices going back to Lifetime.
Exactly.
So I think we were a platinum club. Anyway, it was too much for my blood. So anyway, this is great to see. Okay, all right. Love that beginning. Okay. Yeah. And then what happened from there? What kind of, first you were dominating on a basketball court, and then what happened after that?
Yeah, so we were dominating on the court, won a couple championships together, and then I forgot exactly how, somehow, some way we started ending up in the hot tub together. So what would happen is it'd be around midnight, maybe 11 at night, and either Andrew would hit me up or I'd hit him up and be like, "Hey man, you want to meet up in the hot tub?"
Man, every time I hear this story, Mike, I'm just like, oh man. Keep going, man.
Yeah, so what would happen is we'd meet up and like we would have already worked out or something already this day and then already gone back home. Then we go back to the gym for the hot tub. We're just hanging out in the hot tub, talking to each other. And this was a great time. We did this for like over a year.
Yeah.
Where we would just talk about a lot of really deep things we hadn't talked to many other people or any other people about. And we started to notice that we had like a lot of similarities, especially when it came to things we were self-conscious about, the things that were holding us back, all these different things. Like, you know, they kind of had different details, but the gist was the same. And that kind of built our foundation of trust and respect for each other.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I was not expecting this beginning of the story. I was like, and so
yeah.
No, I love this story. This is great. This is great. So what from there, did you stay in the hot tubs? Was it what happened? You built the business in the hot tub? I want to know, is this, or
I mean, the foundations of the business were built in the hot tub, man. They were built in the hot tub.
Yep. Water, man.
Yeah, exactly. But it's crazy. So this is literally how our business started. We met at a Costco one day. We hadn't hung out in a while. And we were eating pizza, of course. And right as we were about to get up, we were about to leave, Mike's like, "Yo, man, I got this opportunity for you." I was like, "Yo, tell me about it." And so there's this bar in San Francisco that needed help. They had just lost a manager and their sales were down, things like that. And they were like, "Mike, if you can like provide some value, we'll fly you out and you can come consult with us." And now Mike was like, Mike knows I had experience in the restaurant industry. I worked over 10 years there. And I was like, "Yo, man, I think we could do this." And so that's how it all started. And
started as restaurant consultants.
We started as restaurant consultants, man.
Yeah. I mean, the whole goal was just to get this free trip to San Francisco. It was like, let's do one project.
That was it.
Have a great time in San Francisco and then come back and, you know, keep going on with our lives and not even pursue like a business together, just this project.
Yeah. I love that. First of all, Erica's saying already she loves the energy right there. So she's loving you guys right there.
Hey.
It's awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Erica.
By the way, we've got other Mark in the chat. Thank you so much for showing so much love. Yeah, we love the story. So get this straight. So you went over to San Francisco, you started out there, became consultants. Then from where, how do you go up from, you're already getting flown out places. What's going on?
No, you see, that's where you're assuming, Doc. No,
we never made it.
We never made it to San Francisco. We never made it. So I after the Costco meeting, I reached out to them. I was like, "Hey, me and my friend can come out and, you know, do the project." And they're like, "Wait, we need to see a proof of concept before we're gonna fly you out and all that stuff."
Yeah.
And so we're like, "Hey, let's just do it with restaurants and bars in the Atlanta area. Show them we can crush it, then they'll fly us out." And so trying to do that is how we like started the business and made this more of a consistent thing. The thing is, the restaurant consulting portion of our business's life was a complete failure. It was
failure. In the first year, we made $244.
Yeah, we made less than $1 a day total in the first year.
Wow. Okay. But you know what I love about this? Being honest out here. You didn't have to listen out here. This is what I love in the chat. Keep this in mind. This is why we have great guest stars like this. They're being honest with you and telling you what it's really about and how it is in life. So I love to hear that. Thank you so much for telling me about that.
For sure.
Okay. So that the first year. Okay. So what happened from there? I mean, I can't even buy a PS4 with that. What am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly. No. So the craziest part. So we were doing data analytics for a restaurant, and so we signed our first client. some reason they're like, yes, like we're gonna hire these guys to consult with us and do data analytics. We're like, all right, great. So we're on the way.
We didn't even have a business name.
We didn't have a business name. We didn't even we were shit at that point.
We didn't even know what data analytics really meant.
Yeah, but we sold it to them. It was for $50 a month. So we were rolling in the money. So we get to the restaurant, and as soon as I pulled up, the owner calls me and he says, "Hey, Andrew, by the way, the majority owner of the restaurant announced today that we're closing the restaurant. He sold it." And so here we are, 2 months into the business. We think we have our first client. And I call Mike because he's like 5 minutes away. And I'm like, yo, man, you're not going to believe this. He's like, what? He's like, yo, the restaurant. I was like, the restaurant is closing down for good. That restaurant has never been open since and never will open again. And
It
so
still
there
isn't
we
open.
were.
That place is still vacant like 2.5 years later.
Yeah. And so that shut down. And so that was like year one, just a lot of stuff like that. I remember we did a sales day. I told the guy, hey, we will actually lower your sales and increase your cost. And then he just like laughed at me. He's like, get out of here. So that kind of gives you a frame of reference of how rough year one was. That was year one. So Mike, tell him how we got to content creation.
Okay, so year one was rough. It was really us just trying to figure out how to be professionals, how to bring value into the world. And so we're still trying to push the data analytics and the restaurant consulting to the different restaurant owners. And we noticed we could get in with them if we offered them a free food photo shoot. So like, let's offer that to them. We'll throw them some cool photos, and then we'll like talk to them afterwards after they love our work and be like, hey, we can also do data analytics. And so
oh no, Mike is frozen.
So much energy right there. It just bam.
There was too much energy there. But yeah, so we noticed that they like the food photography. And so we started showing up to do food photography at the restaurants. And the funny thing is we had a Nikon camera from 2011, right? We had no clue how to use it. We didn't know what aperture was. We didn't know any of the settings, ISO, what any of that did or how to affect it. And so we used our phones. We used our phones for the first 20 photo shoots. And we would, when the restaurant owner would come by or the staff would come by, I'd be like, yo, Mike, like pull out the camera. Let's take some photos real quick with the big boy camera so it looks like we know what we're doing here. And so we did that for a long time, and we fooled a bunch of people.
Oh man, but you know what I liked about it? You're still trying and you're still going for it and all of these things. Hopefully, don't worry, and everyone knows. Listen, Mike will be back. Listen, he had so much energy, popped out of the interview. He's coming right back, guys.
He'll be back.
No worries. This is good. This is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. So you still were doing that more than 20 times. And listen to, by the way, Lucius in the chat, we already know you already talked about photography. He was talking about either working with salons or also what do you call it? Doing real estate. So this is good.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mike.
What's up, guys? I had to take a little break. All right.
That was good. That was good. It got refreshed, came back into it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We're just hearing about the camera using the cell instead.
Yeah.
And then taking out the big boy instead, just to make it look good. Totally fine. Totally fine. One of my videographer, he said he used to use his phone all the time. He's like, listen, bro. He's like, it looks so good, but they're not going to believe that this phone can produce it. So he's like, I just walk around with my Nikon and do this, and they think it's crazy. He used to have a shotgun mic. He's like, let me just do this real quick. People are like, oh, he's so good. Never used any of that footage. Barely ever on. So so tell me, so you did that from almost like 20 times. Did you end up using any of the big boy cameras, or like you still just use your phones? What's going on with that?
We only use the big boy. Wait, what was that?
Erica's saying every restaurant I shop for me wanted to pay me with free food. Erica, you're another one we're talking about. This is perfect for you. Take
Yeah.
notes from Mike and Andrew. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just trying to do exchanges, and I always say that
Yeah.
cannot pay rent. So
Yeah.
keep listening to their story. This is perfect for you, Erica. So
Yeah.
keep going. What happened after that?
Yeah. So the big thing we noticed was that, okay, we need a portfolio before we could start selling these services. So we didn't mind doing the complimentary work because that gave us skills. It taught us how to edit. Mike finally got Lightroom and Photoshop and was editing and things like that. And so that time frame, it really taught us like the basics of photography. And Mike could talk about the literally thousands of hours Mike spent on YouTube and master classes and different things learning photography, and kind of how we went from there.
Yeah, the great thing about doing those free shoots is the expectations were really low. And like when I look back on the photos and the videos we produced, like I'm like, those sucked so much. Like the owners, they loved them, all the stuff, like they're happy with them. But I would never like submit that to somebody now, like what I was doing back then. So like what that did was kind of give us this low stress and low pressure environment where we could learn and we could figure out, you know, the best way to, you know, take the shots and put together a video and do a video that'll actually, you know, be a competent ad for them. So, I mean, like I'm pretty much self-taught, all on YouTube. A few times went to some photography meetups, got some tips from some photographers, but I mean, there's so much on YouTube to learn.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Hey, real quick, we've got, so Erica's talking about, and I'm going to add something on to her comment because I want you to talk about this. Maybe if it's going to be later in the story, but I want you to think about this. Just keep this in mind. Erica's talking about, I learned that in school and I have a portfolio. We've talked about this to Erica before, though. We've got to get her out of the mindset of settling and doing exchanges and actually getting paid for what she's worth. So could we, maybe answering that now or through your story, could we talk about that shift of working and getting that portfolio and then charging what you're worth? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, no, let's jump into it right now. That's a huge point. When you're an entrepreneur, I think that's the biggest thing, going from like, hey, I'll do you a favor for a favor to like, I'm a business and I need money for what I'm doing, you know? And I think that's a huge component, because that's one thing we struggled with too, and we kind of still struggle with right now, is like demanding your value from people. So first you have to recognize what your value is. You got to be like, I am worth X amount of dollars to do this. And a lot of times what you're actually worth will seem pretty high to you if you've been exchanging favor for favor or doing stuff complimentary for people. You'd be like, wait, how could someone pay me that much? So you got to figure out how much your value is. And a lot of times it's easier when you figure out what other people who are doing something similar to you are charging, because then you can kind of justify it, at least to yourself. And then you gotta, like Andrew and I say, wait, anyways, Andrew and I always say this. We tell each other, we just got to put our nuts on the table. You just got to be bold. You got to go and ask for what you want. Like closed mouths don't get fed. So you got to go and say, I'm worth $1,000 for the shoot, and don't hesitate. It's not a negotiation. Just say, I'm coming in and doing something where I'm an expert at, and you got to pay me this amount of money for it. And then a lot of times some people will be like, it's not in my budget, and that's fine. Like one big thing is when you start demanding money from people, you have to be able to walk away if they say they can't afford it or anything. Don't try to come down and all those different things. Like you can kind of negotiate a little bit, but you should have a line.
Yeah, that's excellent. What we talk about a lot of times on this program and talking about in the courses, either number one, I have a price outside of frame, or I tell myself the price over and over again before I pitch, or whatever that price is, 100, 1,000, whatever. Add another zero and say that price. And it really helps you to get out of that comfort zone. That was the very first time I remember when we charged $10K a month and everyone thought we were crazy. We're like, no, 10,000.
Yeah.
And everything else tiered in different packages. It felt better because whenever we charge a couple hundred, we always work too hard and they never appreciate it. ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Erica's saying that she understands, she loves this stuff. This is great. So
Yeah.
this is perfect. This is good stuff. Could you talk about Mike and Andrew, could you talk about the feelings of that for like getting over the hump, talking about like was that easy? How did you have to psych yourself out? Like what happened to actually do it? Did you write it down and hand them the piece of paper how much it was? Like what happened with that?
Yeah. So the first thing we sold was a video for Cinco de Mayo. We said, hey, we will do this video for you and advertise it on social media and it'll be successful. And we had no prior like background experience or anything, but we just went in there with a lot of confidence. It was the end of the day. Mike was sick. And so the guy gave him the runaround, like, yeah, I'll think about it. Mike's like, no, you guys need this, and your business can succeed from using these tools that are very relevant and that your competitors aren't doing. And then we sold the video to him, and we did the marketing for it. We look back on that video with disgust, but at the time it was good, and the Cinco de Mayo was on a Sunday that year. And we created the specials. We did the video. We posted on social media. We tagged a bunch of people, invited people in, things like that. And they actually had the busiest Cinco de Mayo they had in 3 years, wow, as opposed to their Friday and Saturday. And you would think that those are busier. And the specials we did, like, they were blown away. And to the point where after we did that one project, we signed them on as monthly clients and did videos and photos and their social media for 6 months. And so the biggest thing was we just started to believe in ourselves and we started being more confident. And, a lot of people will say like, fake it until you make it. That's a very like popular saying, but it's almost like a cop out. It's like, man, just believe in yourself and in your product, and then just try something. If it doesn't work, pivot, and don't be afraid to fail, because we failed so many times, but it got us to that 6 months where with that money we were actually able to upgrade our cameras, and we got a Sony camera, and then Mike started learning the Sony. And then the amount of money that we've made since we've had that Sony is just crazy. And that was only 11 months ago when we started doing that. And since then we've really blown up and whatnot. So
yeah,
good.
I would say, Doc, on the what you're saying about like it's never been easy for us to kind of like demand that price. Like it's always been something where like I'll be like, Andrew, what do you think? I'm like, all right, we got to bump up the price a little bit more than that or something. And then at first when we go in, we'd be kind of hesitant telling people the price, all these different things. And I think one thing you got to remember is no one knows how much you should cost. Like 90% of the people you talk to don't know how much you should cost for this. And what we noticed is when we were going too low, kind of like what you're saying, Doc, is like you charge like a couple $100, you would over deliver, and they didn't care because no one cares. Like a business doesn't care about any dollars. They just don't care. Like they forgot they even hired you for it. But if they spend a bunch of money on it and you work closely with them and kill it, now they really care because they're invested in it and they want to like it. They have to like it because they spent all this money in it. They're going to convince themselves to like it. And so like, don't undercharge yourself because you're going to be doing more work and the people are going to care less about what you're doing. Like once you charge them properly or even overcharge them a little bit, they're going to do mental gymnastics if they have to like what you did.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's excellent. First of all, I see in the chat and all of you guys, listen, we're not having a conversation about what camera is better or anything like that. Erica, keep it to yourself. Okay.
The Sony came out. It's fire for videos. The A7S III, baby.
Oh my goodness. This is just too much. Erica, stop it. You see what you started. Also too, from the crews over at D Live, people are saying this is wonderful. This is great information. This is giving me the confidence I need. Keep it up. This is great stuff, guys. This is great.
Definitely.
Stuff. Thank you so much. Let's talk about, okay, so restaurants, and so we're in the age of COVID. A lot of things are changing. This is a
Yeah.
big thing that we're getting. We have some people that are trying to either operate and do food trucks, or trying to even offer services for different food establishments,
Yeah.
chatbots, those things. Could you
Yeah.
talk about, over the last couple of months, do you feel like it's possible to have a niche in restaurant, or pivoting, or like what's your approach for ones that are trying to help in the restaurant field?
Yeah, definitely. No, I think it's very important to pivot to restaurants. And I think one of the biggest things you could do right now is have a fun social media presence. And you're seeing a lot of the restaurants who are very active on social media posting TikToks, posting information about what they are selling, showing off their staff, showing off their establishment, and the different things that they're doing to take sanitary measures, and then finding creative ways like to go orders, bringing it out to their car, all these different things. Like restaurants could be super successful right now. And one of the examples we always use here in Atlanta is one that actually started off as a food truck and now they're growing pretty significantly, is the Slutty Vegan. They do plant-based burgers, and they're actually opening up, like they're in the process of opening. They have 3 and they're opening up 11 in the next 2 years, and they're growing significantly.
What in the world?
Yeah, and all they did was they branded themselves really well. Slutty Vegan, that captures your attention
Yeah,
right off the
I
bat.
was in the chat, and I was like, wait, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, and that just it captures your attention, and people go check out the page just to see what that's about. And
Gotcha.
then their food is really good, but also they do a brilliant job of marketing and making it fun, and they have people dance when they come in to order their food and different things like this, and they're socially distanced and they're always having a good time. So it's totally possible to be thriving right now. And what's happening, you're seeing, is a lot of restaurants are kind of retreating and they're trying to be conservative right now. Let me not spend money on marketing. Let me just save as much money as possible. But really, if you just put all your forces to building your brand right now, I feel like those restaurants are like starting to see sales growth year over year. So
It's crazy. That's
Yeah, we've done social. Oh, go ahead.
no, keep going, you're doing great.
Oh, I was gonna say we've done social media and marketing work for a couple different restaurants and breweries during this pandemic time. And there's 2 off the top of my head where we're kind of like privy to some of their inner numbers. One of them, like they've been doing some of their best days, like the best Fridays and Saturdays, even better than before the pandemic happened. And then another one, as Andrew was saying, it's a brewery. They're super hard on showing off their staff, doing TikToks, all these different things that build a lot of community. And these guys have been killing it. Like I don't think they've lost a step. And both of those restaurants, because they're hiring us and stuff, are spending money on their marketing and really going full forward on creating that brand awareness. Because there's a void right now in a lot of marketing. Like a lot of companies that aren't big companies, like local businesses, there's a void in their marketing because people are being stringent with their wallet, and then so it's easier to fill that void.
Interesting. So let me ask you this: as you're approaching them, is it they've already got a growth mindset and they're like, yes, we already have we have a strong brand, we're going to be doubling down? Or are you convincing restaurants and giving them a vision before you're working with them?
definitely. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both. A lot of times we're going into restaurants and we're focusing a lot more on videos right now. And a lot of restaurants are like, I see all these other restaurants doing short TikToks or doing videos on their social media, and they don't have anything. And it's a lot easier to take a phone or a picture on your phone of food, but it's really hard to make a good video on your phone, edited music, vibe, theme, wording, all those different things. And so a lot of the owners, they know they need videos, but they don't even know how to go about it. So we're seeing a lot of those ones like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Let's work. but then there's also some that take a little bit of convincing and a little bit of showing what we've done. And yeah, Mike could talk a little bit about the things that we've done to kind of like show that off.
Yeah, I mean, one huge thing we do, and we learned this from Gary Vee, is free to fee. So we don't just show them what we've done for other people, which kind of gets the conversation going, but to actually close them when we show them their product with our vision and our creativity, something small, whether it's a product shot or like a 5-second, 10-second video, something like that. Then all of a sudden their mouth starts drooling and they want their other product shot like that, or they're just like, oh wait, all my visions can come to life now because these guys have the talent or the ability to do it. So one huge thing is kind of getting that like human aspect. The same way when you go to a store and you're going to a clothing store, they want you to try on the clothes. They want you to look at yourself in them, because then you're like, I can't walk out of here knowing I look that good in this clothes without buying them. Like you got to have it in your wardrobe now.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're just setting it up. You're just teeing it up, and they're like, listen, I got to have it now. I got to have it.
Exactly.
And so how often, because this comes up, a lot of people are asking, how do you deal with rejection? How many times, there's no clear number, like it's X amount of times a failure to this. How do you keep that motivation? How many times are you pitching before you're landing momentum and getting the clients that you want?
Man, that first year we pitched to over 300 restaurants, and we still only made that $244. That was from one restaurant. Yep. So that was 1 out of 300 that first year, or maybe even more, or something like that. So I mean, rejection sucks. Like, there's a bunch of ways people talk about to do mental gymnastics to get over it. I think the main thing is that Andrew and I have always had is a growth mindset. So like, if we get rejected, we've always been like, all right, how are we going to come back harder and stronger and better for the next time? Or if we're getting rejected in restaurant consulting, eventually we pivoted away from it because we realized we can do something and be more effective somewhere else. So I think having that growth mindset, knowing rejection isn't saying that you suck, it's saying that you just need to be better probably, or you need to find a better client. A lot of times we've been rejected and it wouldn't have been a good fit for us anyway.
Thank you. So Mike, I mean, first of all, Erica, we got a couple of people in here. First of all, Erica's saying, wow, with the number, how many times you pitch. This is excellent because Erica's in the midst of pitching people right now for her business offerings. So keep in mind, look at what they had to go through to find the right clients to do those things. Listen, you got it. You got it, girl. And don't forget, in the chat, let us know how it's going with your business. If you want, privacy, you don't have to do it right. But in the chat, let us know how it's going this week. I know you're pitching for businesses, so that's awesome to hear. Thank you so much, guys.
Definitely.
Keep going, Andrew.
So one thing that Mike and I have really worked on over the past year that has helped people come to us is we've built our brand. So we've made a 6-month plan. The only thing we're focusing on is building our brand. And so that means our social media we're going to highlight ourselves. We're going to highlight our product. We're going to do fun videos. We're going to do Frisky Freestyle Friday. We're going to do all these different stuff. And what it's done is we've had brands reach out to us and be like, yo, like we really want to work to you. And how we got to that, Mike said 300 restaurants in the first year of the business. So how we can relate that to this year of business, we're going on our 3rd year in January. I've reached out to, I got the number up here, 540 different brands through social media saying, hey, send us your product for free. And we'll take photos of it, and then we'll send you that back for free. And then that gets the conversation going. We've worked with people like Angry Orchard, Box Water, Rabbit Hole, Body Armor. Who else, Mike? Who else?
Shoot, there's a lot of local like brewery brands, and alcohol brands that in that list.
Yep. Stone Brewing, Dragon's Milk, Blake Stars, Celsius Energy, Quest, Revanche, Bones Coffee, Long Drink, Low Tide Brewing. These are just naming a few of the ones that we've worked with. And that was from 540 messages on social media.
That's crazy. So you're hearing this in the chat. And for the ones that are watching, but you're not commenting, don't worry. It's okay. But don't forget, write these notes down. This is for motivation. This is fuel for you to start doing this kind of thing. Listen to how much work they're putting into this to get these results. By the way, any moonshine distilleries you guys working with?
Oh man, I wish.
Just throwing it out there. Just
Yo, Andrew, put that on the list. For the
Yeah,
next...
man. Yo, if we get some, we'll send you a bottle.
Just let me know. Let me know. There's a couple of places in Louisville I had to go, but I'm just throwing it out there. Don't forget about me now. So Erica was saying, do you have a niche or a favorite? Did you go after a certain type? You were talking about this type of what? Tell me about it. Any type of restaurant? Or let's go with niche first. How did you prioritize that?
Yeah, so restaurants came from my experience. I spent over 10 years in the restaurant industry, so that's how we got restaurants. But now we do a lot of studio photography and lifestyle photography, and we focus specifically on like beverage and then like fitness as well. So, beer brands, liquor brands, energy drink brands, water brands. We work with Quest, so energy bars, chips, different things like that. Anything that we could really fit in the studio and put a light on and make look really good. That's really our niche. Mike, what would you say?
Yeah, and I'd say it's super important to focus on a niche because we've shot so many different things. We've done nature, landscape, city, portrait, car photography, videography for all those different things. And the techniques you need, the gear you need is completely different for each spectrum. So focusing on your niche is incredibly important because then you don't have to spend with photography and videography, you're gonna be spending a lot of money. But you have to spend like too much excessive money. And also you can really dial in the fine skills for what you're going, because lighting's completely different depending on if you're doing a car or you're doing something that's like this big. Like it's a complete game changer.
It's good. That's good.
Definitely. Yo, Doc, as we're talking here, everyone follow us on Instagram at the Cork Bros. So THCCORKBROS. And Doc, check out what?
THE, you said THC, right?
Oh, no, THECORKBROS. Doc, go check it out. You can see some of the work that we've done recently. And you can
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on a second. Hold on. We got this. All right, guys. Hold on. Let me switch over. I'm going to screen share for a moment.
There we go.
There we go right here. So we can see this. Okay. All right. That's what I like saying.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know what's going on here. A little bit too crazy right now. Okay. That's what I'm too much fun. I'm loving that. Look at this. So this is what is this right
so
here?
That's Celsius. So that's one of the brands we just reached out to. They sent us, I think, 3 cases of their energy drinks. We took photos, different things like that with it. Yep. And then so we kept conversations going and they just sent us another 3 cases of stuff again. So, click on that beer can right there. Click on that one. You can see some of our best studio photos.
Nice.
Right here. Yeah.
Look at that. Now I gotta get something. Now I'm all thirsty about this. I'm like, why am I need to leave for a moment. This is really good. This is really good. And then so pretty much tell me about how you're approaching putting on how do you balance out what kind of content you're putting on? Right. So I've seen so many different, is it kind of giving people just a mixture? And so when people brand see different types, they get a scope of it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's really been a constant experimentation to see.
I love this really one, by
works.
the way.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah. So like if you were to scroll down about a month from here, you would start to see a lot of product shots and less so of us. And what we noticed is people really love the product shots, but when they came out too often, they started to care about them less. Like you see less engagement on the post. So then we started putting our face out there more. And then we started like interspersing a little bit of product here and there. And that's when, they started to lift up. So you can see like just by like, number of likes and stuff, which isn't a great metric if you're talking social media engagement, but just, something quick. So,
look at that. Go back up to that coffee cup. That was our first food photo.
Oh, yeah.
And then look at our newest one. Click on it.
Oh, so click on this one right here.
Yep. So
That
that
was
was
my
our
first
first
ever
one.
Wow.
Those ones, and then boom. Those are our latest.
It's come up a little bit. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I see it now. But oh man, that's great. That's great to see. So just over time, okay, I gotta click on this. What's going on over here? I gotta see what's going on. So now we're seeing a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So you see that nothing, go into it.
Wow.
Black background.
Wow. I like that. So show me before and after. I'm liking this. Hold on now. Follow.
Yeah, give it the old follow.
Yeah.
Listen, this is some good stuff right here. Really interesting. Really interesting.
Oh yeah.
And
so you like
is this the brewery too?
Yeah, that's
the brewery.
Oh, I do like that shot. That was good. That is really good. So no, I got too many questions. Talk to me.
Yes.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say from the different content. So what we really want to do is we are like the biggest thing of our brand has always been our personalities. You know, we're very energetic. We like to think we're a lot of fun and have a great time. And so we want to showcase that on our page too. We don't just want to show our work. That's why we want to do the behind the scenes. We do a Frisky Freestyle Friday where I throw words at Mike each week and he raps about them and then comes up with freestyles. And then we do like event photos. We do videos whenever we're going out, like our stories. You can kind of see a day in the life of the Cork Bros. So we just like to have a lot of fun. And when choosing your page or like what content to post, like the thing we'd say to people is just be yourself. Like if you like sharing videos of you talking about something, break it up, do 15, 30, 45-second videos, put it up there, but put some photos of yourself, make yourself personable, put some photos of you and your family if you want to share your family on social media, different things like that. But what's works for us isn't going to work for everybody. So just be yourself. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. What's really weird is that, so we have a lot of product and, client work on our page. And I'd say probably like on a 3-to-1 ratio, we'll be on a shoot with a client. A lot of times we'll be a new client and they'll be like, hey, I want you guys to shoot it like you did in your Nerf gun video. Yeah. And the Nerf gun video is like a TikTok video where we're messing around, where there's like so many other product videos they could have shot. I'm like, no, I want the shots like you did the Nerf gun video. I saw you guys, on your boat trip or whatever, and I want that type of energy in the video you guys will shoot for me or something. And we're like, of all the ones you choose, it's us like just messing around. And so that's when it was kind of like the same thing. Like when we got into food photography, it's like you just got to listen to what the people are telling you. And most of the people, even clients, when they reference our work, it's the fun stuff we're doing, because that really resonates with them, I guess, on a human level or something. So we're like, hey, here's some more of it.
That's great. Yeah, and it just shows your personality. It makes you stand out, and all these other brands or who you were going to be working with. Yeah, I love that. By the way, Erica's saying that she's following. We put in the chat for a couple other people from D-Live are saying that they're following your page now. Okay, all right.
Hey,
there we go.
Let's go, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, this is good. So, no, this is really good insights. And what I want to say for everyone that's listening, and especially ones watching replay too, listen to how hard they're working and trying out all of these different things to get the results. So it is hundreds of pitches and trying to work with these companies. Please, you can do the same thing, but prioritizing.
Exactly.
Two more questions, if you don't mind me asking.
Let's go.
How do you balance out, like, say, for instance, pitching in general? So, like, some are solo entrepreneurs, some are working with a partner. How do you guys seek and destroy? Do you just pick, like, okay, once every week we pitch, or is it like a couple times a day? How do you balance that out for you guys?
Definitely. Yeah. So the biggest thing we do is social media reach outs, man. Hit people up in the DMs. A lot of these businesses, they get like their algorithm will grow if they respond to messages. So a lot of these brands are replying to us. Like, who would have thought Angry Orchard would reply to us? And Angry Orchard sent us 7 cases of beer. 7 cases just by us asking.
It's a win-win situation. I see no downside.
Yeah, exactly. So we're reaching out every week that way. We also created partnerships with people. So there's people that we've worked with projects on before, and they were like, yo, we really like working with you guys. And so they're actually pitching our services to us. And so, or to other businesses, like they're pitching our services as a collaboration, and then we're getting sales that way. We're posting a lot to our social media, and what we do is we send the content back to all the businesses, and they're posting and they're tagging us. And you're seeing a lot of these other brands sharing our content, and so that kind of builds hype. Like, whoa, who are these guys creating these photos for these big time brands? Let me reach out to them. So the biggest thing we do is build our brand so people will reach out to us, because Mike and I hate doing sales pitches. We hate it. There's nothing I like about it. Makes my balls itch, man. I just don't like it, man. So so what we're really doing is building our brand and then just collabing with other people, and that's been huge. We've gotten multiple projects from other people just being like, yo, I work with the Cork Bros. You need to work with them on this. And then we've gotten some high-paying jobs from working like that.
Love it, man. I love it. We're always talking about JV partnerships here. People, Erica in the chat, very active. Are you trying to get an award out here? How many comments you put out here, Erica? Yes, we're getting T-shirts. I told you, we're working on it. But no, you're doing great. Joint ventures, exactly right. We're always talking about this. So that's really, and it's not a pushy way, it sounds like, with sales. You're just making it very organic. If they work together, if it's a good experience, you're, again, word of mouth and just going from there. So that's excellent.
Yeah.
So tell me one last thing. So for the end of 2020, we got one more quarter and then going to 2021. Who knows what's going to happen then? So tell me the next quarter, you were talking about really expanding out. Tell me what's going on, guys.
Oh man.
Hey.
Now you're getting in the nitty-gritty.
Now we talking about some rambunctiousness that's about to go down.
Oh yeah. It's going to multiple new levels.
Mike, you're frozen, bro.
He's going too much energy for a second, Mike.
Too much energy. All right, we can see you. We can see you, man.
Okay, we got you. For a second.
Drop it on him, man.
All right. So, as we said, big thing with us is building brand. So we're actually going to start filming our first digital series. Hopefully, starting filming in November, finishing filming in November, December, and then start releasing in March and April. It's going to be called Uncorked. What we're going to be doing is over here in the greater Atlanta area, hopefully expand to other cities and other seasons, but in the greater Atlanta area, we're going to be looking for the best dishes from either Black-owned restaurants or Black chefs here to bring more notoriety to the crazy things they're doing with cuisine here. And we're also going to be pairing it with a drink. That part is still in the works, so we can't give you too many details on the drink pairing aspect of it. But we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be bringing in influencers. We're going to be in front of the camera, talking about these dishes, talking to the chefs about it for one episode, why they created it, what makes it special, what goes into it, and then talking with influencers and trying it and really experiencing it.
I love it.
Yeah, our end of last quarter of the year, and 2021, our big things are be legendary and think big. So we just want to, like, we don't want to have these expectations where they seem realistic. Like, this seems, I'm kind of scared. Like, we're about to do a TV show and we have big things planned for this, getting sponsorships and have it blow out and be really big and try to get picked up by a network. But that's really our think big and go above and beyond what our expectations are. And we got some big things planned, and that's just the first mini series we got going. And we got a lot planned. We got our swag coming out, so we're gonna have.
We gotta talk about that.
We got some apparel coming out. The first one that's dropping we're having Cork Bros hats, and the brim of the hat is actually going to be a cork. So it's going to be that freaking texture is what I'm trying to say.
I love it. Wait. Is it just going to look like that, or is it going to feel? What are we talking about? Tactile. Tell me about this hat.
It's actually going to be cork. It's going to be actual cork material. Yeah.
Listen,
We're gonna
first
have
of
in
all,
white.
sorry about this. Sorry about cutting you off, Mike. Now, I'm sorry. Erica got me hot in the comments for a second. She's talking about how do you let me know how you all getting sponsorship. Listen, everyone all the time, every show, everyone jumps over the hard stuff and trying to get sponsored. I can't. You worry about getting that contract, okay? Okay, talk to him about some sponsorship. But we hear sponsorship all the time. But go ahead. I'm getting too much. Talk about the sponsorship, please.
Yeah. So the way our mentality works with sponsorships is a lot of brands are starting to realize, a lot of bigger brands with enough money to sponsor things are starting to realize the benefit of partnering, even with smaller. Like you saw our Instagram, we have 1,000 followers. We're not like, any big time influencer at all, or even really an influencer at all yet. But they're starting to see the benefit of partnering with people, creating kind of this grassroots content with them. And then maybe, it explodes, it blows up. We want ours to blow up. So that's what we're doing. We're pitching it to them. We're breaking down exactly how many pieces of content they're expecting to get. It's going to be a ton over like a 6-month period. It's going to be released. We're going to be partnering with the restaurants, influencers, all these stuff to release it. So we're showing them the value. And that's where it really comes in with getting sponsorships. You have to show them the value. So you have to identify what they're going to value here. And so what we're seeing it with the Uncorked is, especially with how social justice is right now, a lot of businesses do want to either highlight Black-owned businesses or give back to them and kind of like support them. So that's one way that they feel like, they're getting the benefit here, is being able to put their name behind that. But also the huge pieces, or the huge amount of pieces of content we're going to be providing. And that's where we're leveraging what we've been doing for the past 2 years, to, get people on board, like bigger brands on board.
Yeah, and I think the bigger thing here is that, asking how to get the sponsorships. So the big sponsor that we're potentially going to sign is a brand that we've reached out to on social media, and they've sent us product before. And, we have like the marketing director's numbers and emails of some of these big companies, and we've been in contact, and they've seen how they worked, and they've liked our content. So see how it all ties in. You have to do this free stuff, the value, like you could make some money off that, but the real value is having that person's contact to do, when they need a big project for photography, studio, whatever, like you've already created content for them. So if they need someone, they're going to reach out to you first. And that's, and then it all ties back into when we reach out for sponsorships, we're going to reach out to all those people who have sent product, their social media managers, marketing, like the head of marketing, different things like that. So
I love that. So if I'm understanding correctly, it's not just saying, I would like a check, please. It's having the relationship beforehand, having all of these small little steps. And then when it's the right opportunity, then seeing it mutually beneficial for both parties to grow and do this kind of sponsorship. Okay.
Exactly.
Good. No, we get that a lot in the chat where they want it to be a stream of income, but it's just like, I want to be sponsored. And it's like, it's not that easy. So it's great that you guys talked about the layering. Erica, shout out in the comments. That makes sense. I know you're going to be watching this too, Lucius. So keep this in mind. Lucius, I know you're always watching this. So anyway, so that's excellent. That's excellent. So that's really good. So first of all, it sounds like you already got 2021 locked up. It's already good. You got everything going good. Erica's saying yes, building good long relationships. So that's good. Exactly right. So before we wrap it up, we already dropped it into the chat. Tell the good people, where can they find you at, either to follow you on social, hire you, all of these things. Tell the good people where they can get you.
Yeah, for sure. So on Instagram, the Cork Bros, TheCorkBros. And then our website is Cork Bros Studios. So how we say is we are the Cork Bros, the founders of Cork Bros Studios. And so if you go to our Instagram, actually, we have a link tree in there, and you could see everything that we've put out, that we've been in, different social media, website, things like that. And that
dropping it right now.
Yeah, best way would be to just send us a DM on social media and get a conversation going. yeah, we appreciate you having us on, Doc. This is a great time. We'll have to
Yeah,
come
dude.
back sometime, man.
Yeah. Oh,
This is
listen, we're gonna be
crazy,
talking about the show. We're gonna be talking about as you're launching. Listen, this isn't the only time. We're gonna be having you guest starring a lot. Don't worry about it.
For sure. Definitely.
I
Yeah,
love it,
man.
man.
This is good. So everyone in the chat, we got people. Oh man, see, look, I tell you, people randomly from Periscope. People have just saw it. Oh, this is great. Okay, I got to watch it on replay. This is what I'm saying. You never know when you're doing live shows who's going to show up. So this is really good. Good. So we're gonna have you stay on real quick before we end. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're going to be liking and subscribing for this channel. Make sure you hit the notifications and the bell to make sure you know when we're going live. You know, this is kind of crazy. We had 5 live streams today. You still got 2 more later on tonight. You already know. Keep everything going. I will not be drinking. You know, this is just packed schedule. So thank you so much for watching this session. And everyone, have a great night. And again, the Cork Bros, thank you so much for being here.
For sure. We'll leave you with one last piece, Doc. One last piece.
Yes.
Is that one thing that we didn't really touch on, but that should hopefully inspire other people, is Mike and I are both self-taught. I knew nothing about social media. I actually didn't have social media except for Facebook when we started the business. And so I taught myself through watching YouTube's Gary Vee, looking at different scrolling and identifying trends and patterns and things like that. And then Mike spent thousands and thousands of hours learning photography, lighting, editing, different things like that. So it's possible for anyone to go out there and achieve whatever it is. Just put in that time and work.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for that message. Yep. I know that's going to resonate with so many people in the audience. And again, we'll be seeing you guys soon.
For sure. So